Oh boy. It is bring your wife to work day every day when you're working at the Pentagon and you're Pete Kegsbreath. I'm going to show you today the sick reason Jennifer Hegseth is following her husband around and won't leave him alone, even at work. It's pretty sad. It's pretty fucked up. Not enough people are talking about it. So we are going to reveal the real tea today. And it's also crazy because together they have 7 or 8 kids all at home. And she must clearly operate under a grift for me, but not for thee kind of principle because she chooses to spend her days aggressively acting as the shadow to her husband. She follows him around through the halls of the Pentagon like a lost dog. And we know exactly why. But here's the thing, Jennifer is always there. It's been reported across like every major news outlet, liberal and Republican. You can't find a Pentagon event, a media booking, a classified briefing, even where she is not just lurking in the background. And we found the reason why. The actual reason she refuses to let her husband out of her direct line of sight is way more pathetic than you can even imagine, honestly. And it exposes how her entire setup, their entire setup, is just really kind of cooked. And if you're new here, I'm Loren Piretra. Wayla Piretra and we do this every single day out of pure principle. At this exact moment in time, we have more subscribers than Riley Gaines and Katie Miller combined. So we do this because every sub, every follow, every comment, 6 words or more, every action you take to support this channel, which is bootstrapped and independent, and we lose monetization a whole lot when we use controversial topics, which is why we South Park our words sometimes. So stop yelling at me, please. Just trying to keep this up. Every action you take to support this channel, 5-star rating, hype if you're watching on YouTube, keeps you safe from Stephen Miller, who could be tapping in the floors and the walls outside in a tree at any moment. So I want you to stay safe, subscribe. It's like a shock collar to him when you take actions to support this channel. So let me give you a quick summary of this situation right now.
A New York Times report just exposed Jennifer Hegseth's bizarre unofficial role running the Pentagon. Without a job or Senate confirmation, Pete Hegseth's wife routinely grills staff hires, attends security meetings, and blocks reporters' access. If you think that Hegseth, both Jennifer and Pete, should be removed, then give us a follow. You're my kind of people.
Now, Jen Psaki put Hegseth under the spotlight as questions around this are erupting because people have started talking about this early on. People have really started to heat up the conversation last week. So look at her asking about Jennifer reportedly attending sensitive military meetings and also joining a Signal chat. Why are they still using Signal chats? Discussing Yemen strikes and sitting on high-level Ukraine talks while the Pentagon refuses to clarify whether or not she even holds a security clearance. Look at this.
Because the New York Times is out with new details about the very outsized, very hands-on role that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's wife plays in the department he oversees. As the Times points out, quote, there has never been a Pentagon spouse quite like Jennifer Hegseth. And, quote, her involvement in the Defense Department is so unusual that has led to questions about Mr. Hegseth's leadership. Jennifer Hegseth has been playing the role of babysitter for her husband since, well, almost immediately after he was nominated. I mean, she was constantly at his side. Remember this when he was interviewing with senators ahead of his confirmation hearings? In fact, the Times notes that she startled Republican senators when she showed up at what are usually typically private meetings. And while Hegseth later acknowledged it was unusual, he insisted it just felt right.
It was unusual. I remember the first meeting we went to that she came with. I was like, and then it felt so right and so natural, not because of anything else, just because we've always been ride or die. It's always been, we're doing this together. And so when we did that first, it was like, oh, this is the way it's going to be the whole time. It's got to be. And so we made it happen so that she could be with me.
It's got to be. It certainly does not have to be. But that turns out that was just the beginning. Last year, the Wall Street Journal reported that Pete Hegseth brought his wife to sensitive meetings with foreign military officials that included one occasion where she accompanied her husband to a high-stakes meeting with top British defense officials, a meeting that came just one day after the Trump administration cut off military intelligence sharing with Ukraine. And now the New York Times is shedding new light on that incident and revealing just how problematic Jennifer Hegseth's presence was at that critical moment. Here's what it says, quote, British officials indicated that they had officers on the ground in Ukraine and that without the U.S. intelligence, including early warnings of incoming missiles from Russia, the officers' lives were at risk. But those same British officials felt they could only speak in general terms about the situation because, quote, the presence of Mrs. Hegseth made them uneasy. Now, a Pentagon spokesperson said that Mrs. Hegseth was only in the meeting for introductions, left soon after, and has not been present for any Defense Department conversation or meeting where classified information was discussed. But we do know that Mrs. Hegseth has been privy to at least some sensitive intelligence. I mean, last year, the New York Times reported that Hegseth actually included his wife on one of his infamous Signal group chats where he shared detailed information about military strikes in Yemen. And Jennifer Hegseth's role at the Pentagon appears also to go beyond just being privy to sensitive discussions, which is in no way okay, but it's way beyond that. I mean, the Times reports that Mrs. Hegseth has also encouraged her husband's adversarial relationship with the news media and was eager to revoke the credentials of Pentagon reporters who she felt had written negative stories about her husband. That's according to one current and one former administration official. She's also become something of a cheerleader for his aggressive, chest-thumping style of leadership at the department.
You guys remember when he drunk texted war plans? It might have been that group chat. So, okay. Now, take a look at this here. So Jennifer Hegseth also has kind of like made up spousey roles in the administration too, where she's working with military spouses as the chairwoman of the first ever Military Spouse Commission. Thank you, Mr. President, for putting military families first. Oh yeah, I'm so glad he's deporting and detaining military families, including family members, parents of people that were just service members that were just at sea for the longest time since World War II on the USS Abraham Lincoln.
I'm Jennifer Hegseth, chairwoman of the first ever Military Spouse Commission. Thank you, Mr. President, for putting military families first. To all the military spouses and families, I want you to know you have an incredible group of women working on this. They have years of experience of living these issues themselves and want to leave it better than they found it.
It's amazing to be able to serve with a president that actually truly loves our military. And not only does he love our military, he loves you, the spouse, the kids. On behalf of 435,000 soldiers and airmen and over 1.5 million families for the National Guard, we are so excited to be part of this Spouse Commission for our military, working for you.
We're here to serve you. This is going to finally give us the voice that I think all of us military spouses have been wanting and advocating for years on end.
And we are honored to serve you, spouses and families of the Air Force and all military branches.
We are looking forward to working hard for all of our military spouses.
We consider this a privilege to be chosen to sit on this commission to advocate for all of our joint forces across the globe.
And real quick, today's episode is brought to you by Laundry Sauce. As y'all know, Willa has been sick all summer long. And what that's meant for me is so much laundry. So I needed to make it a little bit more fun. So I started using Laundry Sauce. And honestly, I'm obsessed. The scent is incredible. Italian bergamot is my favorite, naturally. It's so fresh and so clean. I actually look forward to doing all the laundry now. And I've even got my neighbors asking, what is that? Here's the thing, Laundry Sauce is not your basic drugstore detergent. These are premium scented pods made by actual perfumers. The pods are super concentrated with enzymes that actually tackle everything. Mud, stains, coffee spills, all of it. And get this, Target just started carrying them. And for a limited time, you get 20% off your entire order when you use code Loren at laundrysauce.com. That's 20% off your order at laundrysauce.com with promo code Loren, Loren. And they've got a full money-back guarantee. So if you don't get better smelling, cleaner laundry, you get a full refund. No questions asked. So head over to laundrysauce.com and use code Loren, that's Loren, for 20% off. After your purchase, they'll ask about where you heard about Laundry Sauce too. Please support our show and tell them we sent you here. It's time to make Laundry Day the best day of the week. The first comment on here is a meme, and it's the Trump family and Mar-a-Lago, presumably Netanyahu family, looking out at a lookout point on a ranch, and then your son, and it's in a casket draped in a flag. Couldn't be realer. And then, just to kind of paint a picture of Jennifer Hegseth real quick, There's also these weird slop edits coming out, AI slop edits, where they're trying to kind of position her as like, yikes. Okay. So Pete Hegseth's wife, Jennifer, travels with him. This is one theory, to keep him out of trouble and check in on him because of his alcohol issues. She's his most influential advisor and is involved with active decision making and attends his meetings with reporters. Imagine how awkward that would be, just being like, oh, my wife's here to keep an eye on me because I'm such a raging alcoholic. And she's also recruiting staff and making videos. And you can see in this picture, here she is peering over Trump's shoulder, and here she is following him off the plane. She has been reportedly joining him in sensitive meetings and frequently shows up at the Pentagon. A lot of the materials I read said she's showing up completely unannounced, and she's doing it to keep him out of trouble. So there's more reports coming out of Headquarters News. And then this report from the New York Times, Jennifer Hegseth has become an unusually influential figure inside her husband Pete Hegseth's Pentagon. It's not his, but the former Fox News producer reportedly advises Defense Secretary on media strategy, staffing, and public appearances, travels with him, and has attended high-level meetings, including one involving sensitive discussions with British defense officials. She was also included in a signal chat where her husband shared plans to do U.S. strikes in Yemen. Her involvement has drawn criticism because she has no position formally. You can't just like grift your way in. Like, imagine if they did that with everyone. We would have like honeypots galore. And I guess this has been going on since 2025. There are a ton of photos. And wait till you see why. Yeah, lots of people speculating. So let me give you a picture before I explain what exactly is going on here of the family dynamic. So Pete Hegseth has kids from at least 3 different women. You can see them here, 7 kids. I thought it was 8. And then this is not their kids, but it's a funny visual where I was like, are those their kids? It's not. Jennifer's just kind of like playing the Mother Teresa role. So listen, Jennifer Hegseth does not leave Pete Hegseth. There's some truth to the alcoholism. That's one of the reasons, allegedly. She doesn't leave him because he has cheated on every single wife he's ever had. All 3 of them. He's cheated on every single one of them with women from work every single time. So let's start at the top. First marriage, Meredith Schwartz. So his first wife was Meredith. They were high school sweethearts. They were actually voted most likely to marry in their 1999 yearbook. She was smart, ambitious, Catholic, worked in investment banking in Manhattan. Not smart enough to not marry Pete Hegseth, but you know, sociopaths are a hell of a drug. Meanwhile, he got deployed to Iraq, came back, he got a job at a place called Vets for Freedom, and he started throwing parties. Things at these parties would get a little raunchy and a little wild. Reports say that he would get drunk and sexual. Oh, somebody's bringing me their ball. Excuse me. And according to people who were there, he was having affairs with people. Pete admitted to having affairs with at least 5 different people. And he was also charging hotel rooms to Meredith's card, to his wife's credit card. And when she confronted him and was like, hey, why are you charging all these credit card rooms? What are you doing in these random rooms? He admits he's currently dating a woman at work. Her friend told Vanity Fair she was being gaslit the entire time. In her journal, Meredith was literally begging God to help her figure out why and what was happening, which is pretty heartbreaking. Then, after he left that wife, he marries Samantha Deering. He marries her in 2010. The woman he was having the affair with, so he's cheating on Meredith, marries the woman, the mistress. They have 3 kids together. While he's married to Samantha, he starts having an affair with his current wife, Fox News producer Jennifer. Jennifer's name was Ratchet at the time. Jennifer was married too. Jennifer gets pregnant. Samantha finds out and divorces his ass. Later on, his own mother emails him saying he's being abusive by calling Samantha unstable just to make himself look better. So even his mom has turned on him, which we've seen a lot throughout his confirmation hearing. Then in 2017, As if that wasn't enough, after drinking heavily, he has sex with another married woman, allegedly. In 2020, she threatens to make a lawsuit. He pays her $50,000 in hush money to make it go away. His mother, Pete Hegseth's mother, email spells it out. He's an abuser of women. And has a pattern of dishonesty, sleeping around, betrayal, debasing, belittling. He specifically targets women where he works and who he works with. He does it over and over again. He does it while married. He gaslights the wives. He does it while they're pregnant. Anyone who calls them out, he is such a sociopath. He makes them feel like it is their fault. He's never actually stopped. So here's the thing about Jennifer, and this is pretty sad if you ask me. She's sitting in the Pentagon briefings, listening to classified military intelligence because she can't trust him unsupervised to keep his in his pants. It's that simple. He's cheated on every wife he's had, sometimes at least 5 times, left said wife, got the other wife pregnant, left that one, just spraying and praying like Elon Musk to have a fucking soccer team of kids and no loyalty to any one of those mothers. Now, she married him knowing that he cheated on his last wife with her. Can't really trust him. It's that simple. We know how that works. She knew what he's capable of. She married him anyway, probably thinking she could handle it or she could fix him. She couldn't. Now she monitors him in every meeting with every colleague, and she's convinced herself, or he's convinced her, that if she's watching him closely enough, it will stop him from doing it again. That if she just stays vigilant enough, he won't cheat. Her self-worth, completely gone. Gone. She's become his jailer instead of a true partner. And she's super hyper vigilant, which is so sad because she's learned through every painful experience that if he has the opportunity to cheat, he's gonna cheat. And honestly, I'd be fucking fucked up too. Jennifer, if I was you, sister, run. Take the kids, run. There's greener pastures out there. Being single ain't that bad. Trust. Oh man, what a psychopath. So yeah, that's why Pete Hegseth has a chaperone everywhere he goes. And again, I'm Loren Piretra. Make sure you hit subscribe. Willa Piretra is playing with the ball. I'm gonna go get her and we'll be back with more.